Welcome to our third annual holiday nail art series with me, Sarah, from Sarah's Nail Secrets.
And Talia from Talia's Nail Tales. This year we're doing 12 designs, but we're going to space them out a little bit different so the series lasts until Christmas.
So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a tutorial. Let's get started.
Welcome to day one, everyone. Day one is titled Winter Bling. So I had envisioned something with Swarovski Crystal Snowflakes, a whole bunch of other crystals, and I also wanted to try and use some of this glitter from the Glitter Boutique as my inspiration for the color palette. So let's jump in and I will show you how we came up with this set. I knew that I wanted a really light blue, so I'm going to take Fusion's Blueberry, which is a very pastel, almost off-white blue, and I'm going to put this all over her middle finger. Now the Fusion gels, because they're a builder consistency, they are quite a bit thicker, and I find using the Fusion gel brush works really well for this because it's a nice, stiff, short-haired brush. And I find I'm able to get into the cuticles a little bit better, but problems with colors like this is that they can shadow, which is something that I found with this particular blue one. I do find once I cure it though, the shadowing kind of goes away a little bit, but if you do want that shadow like completely away, I also find doing a thin layer on top, just paint it on, seems to help as well, which is what I'm going to do. After I cure this, I'm going to go in with a second coat of it and just do a light thin layer on top of it. Another thing I do find is when I put gel on top of it, some of that shadowing does disappear as well. And lastly, my plan was to put the Swarovski Crystal Snowflake on this nail, so I knew if there was any shadowing that didn't get completely gone by putting gel over top of it, it wasn't going to show up anyway. The green that I'm going to use in this set is Light Elegance's Bright Eyes. It is a really nice mint light green that has like a pearl effect to it as well. I love this color and I'm going to apply this all over her pointer finger. Background of the glitter nails, I'm going to take Light Elegance's Tiny Diamond, which is the perfect white sparkle for this design, and I'm going to paint this all over the pinky nail. And after I have this all over the pinky nail, I'm going to go in with some of that loose glitter that I showed you guys at the beginning from Glitter Boutique, and I'm going to put the giant snowflake kind of further back towards her cuticle. Now these are huge snowflakes and I don't really know why I picked the smallest nail to put this on. So what's actually going to happen is once you put the gel over top of it and you do your finish file, some of that snowflake is going to get filed out. It's okay, I didn't mind it though. It actually didn't really take away from the design too much, but a way that you can avoid doing this, which I wish I would have thought of when I was initially doing this design on my client, is do the saran wrap trick, and I will leave a video in the description box below linking you to a video where I share that trick. The last two nails, I'm going to use Light Elegance's Butter Bling in Hollow. This was my first time using this on a client, and you guys, I was seriously blown away with the pigment of this particular like glitter. And these are designed to go on top of a finished file nail, but I decided to embed it just because I truly just love the look of embedding products a lot better. I feel like once you get the gel layer on top of it, it almost magnifies like the glitters or the colors or anything that you embed it with. So I chose to embed this and I'm so glad that I did. I did not find that I needed like a second coat on top either, because sometimes when I embed the buttercreams, I do like to do a second coat on top, the sandwich technique. But I just think that these are so beautiful. I feel like they kind of remind me of some of those flakes or chrome finishes that you can get in a glitter gel. And when I was putting these on the nails, it just sparkled like crazy. I know when I did this video, I had a lot of people comparing this to the way that Light Elegance's Disco looks. And I wouldn't agree that this looks like disco at all. It is way more sparkly. Obviously it has like that silver hollow look to it that disco does, but this is way more concentrated as well. And I could not stop staring at these nails when I had applied these. I am really impressed with this particular buttercream in general. I haven't used the other ones on my clients yet, so I can't give you guys my feedback on that. After I have all of my color and glitter gels down, I'm going to go in with my Fusion SL Clear and just embed all of these products, and I just love the way that all of my products pop when I embed. After the finish file, we're going to go in with some stamping, and I wanted her pointer finger to be a bunch of layered snowflakes. So the plate that I'm using is in the Frosty Air from Clear Jelly Stamper. It's my hands down favorite snowflake palette. You guys are going to see it a ton through this Christmas series. And I wanted to do a bunch of different colors. So I'm using this kind of mint teal one in the back. I'm using a silver, and I'm also using a white. Oh, and a light blue. And when I'm stamping these, I don't care if I'm overlapping the snowflakes because I feel like that adds to it, and I really like the effect that it gives. I decided to do this exact same thing on her other pointer finger on the opposite hand as well. I did want to use some of these crystal pixies for my crystal designs here. So whenever I use crystal pixies, I do use the Ugly Duckling Shtick-It, because if I use my traditional glues that I use, they just do not hold the crystal pixies as well. So I wanted to make sure I was using the Ugly Duckling Shtick-It. I don't love using gel for crystals though. I've said this in multiple videos, but I do not like when the crystal kind of like, when the gel kind of pools around it on the outside of the crystal. I just don't like that look. I know a lot of people choose to do their crystals like this. I just personally find that I just don't like the look of it. But in this case, for me, with this design, I do need that gel kind of pooling outside of the crystals because I need those crystal pixies to have something to stick to. So it works for this particular design, but if I have the option of choosing between a gel or a glue, I much prefer using a glue. So after I put the big crystal in the middle, which I believe was an SS16, I'm going in with some of those crystal pixies and I'm just framing it. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing 2 nail designs that were Swarovski Crystal Snowflakes, and I took inspiration from this set from Natasha Harton. She did a set, I believe it was last year, with Swarovski Crystal nails, and I absolutely loved it and wanted to recreate it for this particular winter bling set. And I wanted this snowflake to be the focus of the nail design, so I decided to do that on her like middle finger so that you would be able to see it as soon as you looked at her nails. Now this was a super tedious process, and I spent a lot of time applying crystal pixies, crystals, and all of this entire design. If you were going to do something like this on your clients, hands down, make sure you're charging extra for not only the crystals, but your time to apply this, because it did take quite a while. So one of my mistakes when I was doing this was I should have cured the big crystal and the pixies first before I went in and did like the arms of the snowflake. It works out okay because I'm able to like move everything around, but one of the things I find with the Ugly Duckling Shtick-It is that when it it's almost like it melts a little bit when it's been sitting on the nails for a little bit. So then I found that my crystals were kind of moving all over the place, whereas if I would have cured in between each arm, I wouldn't have noticed that as much. So all I'm doing when I'm applying the crystal pixies is doing those first and then doing some larger crystals to kind of make the snowflakes at the ends. Your crystal sizes that you're going to want, the SS16 in the middle, and then the next crystal size down, the bigger one is a 9, and then your outside ones are 5. I found that worked really well for this particular crystal placement. Then for the Swarovski Crystal Snowflake on the second nail, instead of doing the light turquoise crystal stone, I did an opal one, and I really liked how that turned out. So on top of the Butter Blings hollow, I did want to make sure that I was doing something to kind of tie in some more of those blues a little bit. So I'm using some of the light turquoise Swarovski crystals on top to just make a nice little cluster kind of in the corner. This way it doesn't take away from the Butter Blings underneath, but it also will pull some more of those blue tones in the Butter Bling, which is a silver hollow color. That's what I really like about using something like the Butter Blings hollow or Light Elegance's disco in a design like this, is because it's multicolored, you're going to pull whatever tones you kind of pair it next to. So putting some colored crystals on top of it is going to make the Butter Bling hollow look a little bit more blue toned. I did want to add some Swarovski crystal centers to the snowflake nails, and I like to do them in opposite colors as to what the snowflake is. So because this is a white snowflake, I'm going to do a blue stone, and because that's like a mint stone, I'm going to do like a clear stone, and the silver one's going to get a blue stone, and vice versa. My last step is to top gloss this entire nail design. It is a little bit of a challenge to top gloss over top of the snowflake nail, and I have had people ask why I don't top gloss before putting Swarovski crystals on. You can totally do that. What I find though is my glues, when I use my glues, stick a lot better on top of a finished file nail, and the top gloss kind of acts like a seal for the crystals as well. So even though I'm not going over top of the Swarovski crystals and I'm just trying to surround them, they are sealing in because of that top gloss. My battery totally died here, but I did want to make sure that you guys saw how beautiful the butter blings look when you're top glossing. I loved the effect of embedding them. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing day one, which is titled Winter Bling. Make sure you head on over to Sarah's channel and see what she did for the Winter Bling series. All of her clients have just such long, beautiful nails, and I love all the depth and dimension for this particular design and cannot wait to see how she put it all together. So make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media and come back in 2 days because we're going to space this out a little bit different and see what day 2 has in store for you. And this way, because we're spacing them out, this entire series will last until Christmas. See you guys in the next video. Bye.